Fight, fight. Alright, we can watch this for right now.
2014, March 8th. What was y'all doing? Definitely we were in school. We was definitely in school that day.
370, good morning. Malaysian 370, standby.
At Kuala Lumpur International Airport, a Boeing 777 is preparing for departure.
Malaysian 370, request level. 370,
Thank you for the dollar
we are
donations,
ready, requesting flight level 310 to Beijing.
Malaysian Airlines
Lagu
Flight
Sophie
370
07.
is a daily passenger flight between Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia and Beijing, China.
370, 32 right of takeoff. Nice. 32 right, destination Malaysia 370, right.
42 minutes past midnight, Flight 370 is given clearance to depart. On board are Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, First Officer Farik Abdul Hamid, 10 cabin crew members, and 227 passengers.
Oh my God.
Number control, Malaysian 370.
Thank you for the Twitch
Malaysian
Prime.
0, number radar, good morning, climb flight level 250. Morning, level 250, Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, climb flight level 350.
What the fuck? Alright, shit, I'm just fucking. I have this video up. Alright.
Level 350, Malaysian 370.
Hold on, chat. I'm
Less
going
than
no
an
cam
hour
real
into
quick.
the flight, the plane is cruising over the South China Sea at an altitude of 35,000 feet. The night sky is clear and the weather is calm. Flight 370 is
I'm
then
watching it on
instructed
my
to
other
signal air
monitor.
traffic control in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, as it is about to enter Vietnamese airspace. The flight controller in Kuala Lumpur says goodnight, with no sign that anything should be amiss.
Malaysian 370, maintaining level 350. Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, maintaining level 350.
On some old wire G.
Malaysian 370.
No, don't light up the D8 yet, bro. Wait on me.
Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night. Good night, Malaysian 370.
1 minute and 43 seconds later, the aircraft suddenly vanished from radar screens at Kuala Lumpur, Ho Chi Minh, and
What the
Bangkok. This form of positional tracking depends on a signal being emitted by one of two transponders aboard a plane, and so its disappearance would suggest both transponders ceased to function, or the system was manually deactivated by someone on board.
Oh wow.
All subsequent attempts to
Yo,
contact
anybody
and ascertain the
that gets on a
whereabouts of
plane with the
Flight
thought
370
of doing is literally just a
seemingly vanished.
weird, dumb person.
After missing its scheduled time of
We already in the sky.
4 hours later, Flight 370 is officially declared missing. And in the wake of that announcement, the
Sit
most
down.
search effort
Go do some do home.
commence.
No, I mean, duh. I'm just like saying, like, that's just a thought in my head as I'm watching this video. You dumb imbeciles, don't ever talk to me like that.
Initially
If you want to keep your
concentrated on
tongue.
flight's disappearance between the south of Thailand. The search area was soon expanded, however, after the Malaysian military disclosed additional information. Unlike the radar system employed by air traffic control, long-range military radar does not rely on transponders but use reflectance to track the position of
You're
aerial
actually
targets.
toxic.
A review of the
Hey, your name is Howard Hamilton. You shut your up.
data collected by the Malaysian
I'm not even smoking. I'm coughing on my own spit because his name is Howard.
military revealed that moments after contact with Flight 370 was lost, the aircraft had deviated from its scheduled flight path with a subtle turn to the right, followed
Yo,
by
his
a
name
prolonged
is Howard, bro.
The aircraft had then flown back towards and across the Malaysian peninsula before turning right near the island of Penang. It maintained this northwesterly heading until it escaped the radar's coverage.
Wow.
Over the next few days, the Strait of Malacca, the Andaman Sea, and the Bay of Bengal was scoured by a multinational fleet of aircraft, but there was no trace.
Is this a
of Flight
Bermuda
370.
Triangle?
Meanwhile, investigators began to analyze the aircraft's satellite communication records. Like all modern airliners, Flight 370 was equipped with a satellite
Just asking.
communications terminal, or SATCOM, to send and receive transmissions
No, I was asking, like, were they flying through the Bermuda? Not, is it the Bermuda Triangle? Shit. I thought they flew through it.
to and from the ground. Prior to departure, the SATCOM terminal had logged onto the satellite network and established a connection with a ground station in Perth, Australia. That station then maintained a detailed
Australia?
record of all the incoming and outgoing traffic between
I'm from
it
Perth.
and Flight 370.
Australia.
This is what it
Perth.
contained.
I'm from
Prior
Perth,
to the flight's
Australia.
disappearance over the South China Sea, everything appeared to be working as intended. Then, at some point during this portion of the flight,
Wish I was
the
from
SATCOM
Australia.
link was severed. For whatever reason, the terminal ceased to respond. But 3 minutes after the flight vanished over the Andaman Sea, the terminal requested to log back onto the network. The SATCOM link was successfully re-established and was not disrupted again until nearly 6 hours later, when the flight is presumed to have crashed due to fuel exhaustion.
So
During these final hours, 2 attempts were made to contact the plane via satellite telephone. Both calls were acknowledged by the SATCOM terminal and would have been routed to the cockpit. Yet, they went unanswered. The terminal had also responded to 5 automatic status requests. In short, if the ground station had not heard from the aircraft in over an hour, it would transmit a signal to confirm the terminal was still online. While these transmissions did not contain any information about the flight's position,
These niggas is
investigators were
lying.
able to measure the distance between
They
the
sending a
satellite
message up
and
to
the
space to get to the
aircraft
plane.
at the time of each transmission.
Obviously that
based
shit
on how
didn't
long
work.
it took those transmissions to be sent and received. This generated 7 rings of possible locations from which 7 of these transmissions are thought to have originated. By taking fuel consumption, speed, and other factors into account, flight
Did it?
path analysis
Oh my God, it worked?
indicated the most probable origin of the final transmission to be somewhere along this arc in the southern Indian Ocean. The search effort shifted accordingly, and as the region fell within the
damn.
jurisdiction of Australia, the Australian government took
No,
charge
I'm not
of the
gaming right now, y'all.
operation.
I'm
Over the
chilling.
next few weeks, the search area was progressively refined to account for oceanic drift as well as improved estimations of the flight path. But this part of the southern Indian Ocean is so remote it took 6 days just to get there. A new fleet of aircraft and vessels gradually covered more than 4.5 million square kilometers of ocean, but Flight 370 was nowhere to be found.
Damn.
If the impact with the ocean had been sufficiently forceful, it was possible the resulting sound had been recorded by underwater listening devices known as hydrophones. This possibility was investigated, and 4 hydroacoustic monitoring stations had recorded something.
Water?
While the timing and direction of the sound were reasonably consistent with the final satellite transmission, the estimated origin was not. The sound was in all likelihood caused
Shit
by
definitely
nothing
sound like
more
it's
than
underwater.
geological activity. Flight 370 was also equipped with 2 underwater locator beacons which had a battery life of some 40 days. And as the deadline
No,
approached
dumbass.
in early April, signals with a pulse and frequency somewhat similar to the signal emitted by the
Yo,
beacons
chat, why y'all on
were
house with me
detected
at 3
depths
a.m.?
of
Watch who you talking to.
3,000 meters.
100.
An autonomous submersible then spent weeks scanning the seafloor where the signals had been detected, but no wreckage was ever found. And nothing would be found until more than 16 months later,
Are
when
y'all
the
scared of
discovery was made
planes?
on the opposite side of the Indian Ocean. On the 29th of July 2015, a group of people were cleaning up a beach in Reunion, a small island to the east of Madagascar, when they stumbled upon this 2-meter-long metallic object covered in barnacles.
Oh.
Aviation experts quickly identified the object as a section of an aircraft wing known as a flaperon. Upon closer inspection, internal markings including dates and serial numbers conclusively ascertained the flaperon belonged to Flight 370.
Damn.
Even though Reunion Island is some 4,000 kilometers west of the search area, and more than a year had gone by since the flight disappeared, the location was consistent with simulations of debris dispersal patterns. There was now tangible evidence that Flight 370 had crashed somewhere in the Indian Ocean.
Damn.
The discovery of the flaperon prompted numerous searches along
R.I.P.
beaches and shorelines of southeastern Africa, and at least 31 additional items of interest have since been recovered and examined. Some of these items include a section of the outboard flap from the right wing, a piece of cowling from one of the 2 engines, a partial door from the nose landing gear, a section of the vertical stabilizer, and a mangled
Nigga said in
casing
no
from one
bodies?
of the embedded headrest
I mean, bro.
monitors.
You know how
18 of these
hard it is
items
to
were
find
identified
bodies
as
when them
either
shits is
likely,
scattered all
highly
over the
likely,
ocean?
or almost certain to have
Fuck, nigga, they
originated from Flight
scared to
370,
go on them damn
whereas only
selves.
3 could be confirmed. The remaining 11 could not be identified. There were no traces of an explosion found on any of the debris tested, nor was there any evidence of a fire except for 3 small burn marks on one of the unidentifiable items.
Them shits
The
decomposed
search for
quick
debris
as
was
fuck.
further aided by Earth observation satellites. Analyses of satellite imagery from March of 2014 uncovered a number of
Oh my
images
God,
which
are
appear to
those
feature
bodies?
man-made objects floating on or just below the surface in the southern Indian Ocean. However, the images were not nearly sharp enough to resolve any identifiable markings, and multiple searches notwithstanding,
bodies?
this debris was never recovered.
Debris.
A satellite image taken mere hours after the final transmission also captured what appeared to be a contrail some distance away from the search area. A later analysis, however, concluded it was most likely a shadow from a somewhat linear cloud formation.
Y'all niggas acting like I seen the video before, bitch. I'm reacting to the
The
video as
underwater
I'm
portion
watching
of the
it.
search continued
Fuck.
for months, and
Y'all niggas
eventually
ain't never
years
watched a new
before it
episode
was
on
finally
TV?
suspended in early 2017, by which point some 120,000 square kilometers of seabed had been scrutinized. The search effort was then resumed by an American salvage company known as Ocean Infinity, but after more than a year of searching, they too came up empty-handed. Unless the final resting place of Flight 370 can be located, it may be impossible to determine exactly why it crashed.
The YouTube streaming on YouTube kind of useless, bro. Fuck that shit. I'm staying at